Hello, my name is Nick Henry and I am a Professor of Economic Geography in the Centre for Business in Society, Coventry University. A career academic for 15 years, I then spent a decade as a research and policy consultant before returning to academia at Coventry in 2013. Throughout that time, I have continually been asked to report on the UK motorsport industry and its economic significance.
My name is Mark Jenkins. I'm Professor of Business Strategy at Cranfield School of Management. Like many of my colleagues at Cranfield, I moved from industry into an academic career and focus on the areas of competitive strategy, innovation and high-performing teams. Both Nick and myself have been involved in researching the motorsport industry for many years. In fact, Nick's first contact with the Motorsport Industry Association, or MIA, was almost 30 years ago in the 1990s.
Our experience allows us to explain the added value which identifying and promoting the business community of MIA and its Motorsport Valley brand has added to your businesses in the past and continues to do so. The significant regional, national and global reach and power of a world-leading business cluster, such as Motorsport Valley, is extremely rare in the UK. Financial services in the City of London, the Cambridge high-tech phenomenon, Scotland's food and drink cluster. These and Motorsport Valley have the same global recognition as Hollywood and indeed Bollywood, fashion and Paris, Dublin and ICT.
One important aspect with the ongoing success of clusters is for those outside the cluster to be able to connect with firms within the cluster, and most importantly, to be guided to those connections that can lead to successful opportunities for businesses within and outside the cluster. Large customers, other sectors and governments are influenced to engage with such a well-known, well-established, world-class community, and they collectively see value in joining and promoting the industry. In this regard, the MIA has played a pivotal role to help the cluster develop and evolve. Motorsport is a truly unique and very special sector, and until the MIA and Chris arrived, it was pretty much undiscovered. At that time, as far as government were concerned, it was completely under the radar. Industrial and regional policy had completely missed the economic significance of what is now widely known as Motorsport Valley. One of the reasons for this weakness concerned the collection of data about the industry. Standard industrial classifications mean that each industry has an SIC code which allows policymakers and investors to monitor the performance of industries and economists to predict which industries could become the revenue earners of the future. New, emerging and transdisciplinary industries, like motorsport, don't have an SIC code, and therefore, as far as government and policymakers were concerned, they did not exist.
It took a trade association with real vision and foresight to identify that for the industry to achieve support and recognition, it needed a robust assessment of its size and scope, to literally put it on the map. Our first major collaboration with the MIA was in 2000, with the production of the landmark National Survey of Motorsport Engineering and Services. This was one of the first examples of the strategic vision and thinking on and for the sector in which the MIA has delivered ever since. Using data from the survey to the full, and putting the UK motorsport sector firmly on the map as far as government and policymakers were concerned, the sector has been used ever since as an exemplar of British high-performance engineering and its capacity for high-quality innovation. A jewel in the crown of the UK, technologically leading edge, globally competitive and a major attractor of inward investment.
Strategically, the MIA's contribution to the motorsport industry has gone way beyond being merely a membership association. It uncovers and brings forward strategic issues such as the Green Motorsport Agenda, the first energy-efficient motorsport event was in 2008, the need for skills and education, the leveraging of motorsport capabilities into other sectors, not just automotive, but also space, defence, marine and medical instruments, amongst others. Research into how companies deal with increasingly turbulent and uncertain environments tells us that a critical area is how they are able to develop and enlarge their business networks, particularly when entering new sectors or markets and accessing new technologies. The MIA plays a critical role in this by continually spotting and exploring new opportunities for motorsport and connecting together motorsport-based companies with new customers to build networks and to access new technologies in related industries and across geographical markets.
Through strategic foresight, the MIA has supported and stimulated the growth of UK motorsport by exploring new markets and the new resources needed to compete successfully into the future. The trail of evidence useful to the businesses of Motorsport Valley and members of the MIA is impressive. Reports, market investigations, industry conferences and roundtables, followed by market delivery, roadshows, visits, trade conferences, roadmaps and so on.
The MIA is both in and of the industry it serves. It has played a pivotal role in the development and evolution of this industry for several decades. And because of its strategic foresight and networking capabilities, it is becoming even more critical for the future success of its members. The MIA is technology agnostic, which is vital to ensure that new technologies are both identified, explored and exploited. The MIA translates opportunities and is constantly answering the question, what's in it for me, for both its members and other key stakeholders.
We thank you for the chance to contribute from our experience of the motorsport industry and to add our contribution to the conference, which we are sure will be a thought-provoking and inspiring day.